Hello， 大家好，我哋今日咧就好高興咧可以同 Sidcot 嘅校長 Mr Kilpatrick 咧就可以有一個 chit chat 啦，咁可以我都會問下佢關於即係佢喺 Sidcot 呢度管理咗呢間學校咁耐，佢有啲咩心得啦，同埋佢對於 Sidcot 呢間學校有啲咩睇法嘅咁樣。So Mr Kilpatrick, thank you so much for your time.
It's pleasure. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you. We have actually met in Hong Kong.
That's right. We did. Yeah. Yes, I remember it very well.
Yeah, your lesson, your demo class is very good. We're still using it as a footage and a sample.
It was good fun, and we have a very good relationship with Daddy, so it's a really nice opportunity to do some work with you, and also to be out in Hong Kong. And I hope it won't be too long before we're back in Hong Kong.
Yeah, it's a shame. Yeah, we couldn't meet in person, but now I can meet you in person. Okay, so just a quick question, some quick questions about your thought about Sidcot and your experience in here. So what do you think makes Sidcot a different school than the other school in the UK?
That's a really good question. Well, I guess I can see it from two perspectives. So I've been the head here for 10 years, but I'm also a parent of two Sidcot students because both of my children went to Sidcot.
Yeah, we can see their photos.
Yeah, that's right. So both of my children, my son and my daughter, and my daughter left 3 years ago and my son just left in September. And my daughter is doing textiles design at university and my son is doing politics, philosophy and economics. So two very different children, very different career paths, very different interests at school. What I loved about Sidcot was that the school was broad enough to keep them both challenged and supported. And I think that's what the school does really well. We focus on the individual. We don't assume that one size fits all. We try to find the real strengths in every individual child, give them that encouragement and also that challenge to make sure they become the best version of themselves. So I think those are perhaps some of the areas where we're maybe a little bit different. I think the international focus that we've got on the school, and again, if I look back to my two children, they really benefited from being taught shoulder to shoulder with young people from around the world, and that made such a difference on their view of the world, their values, the things that are important to them. So that kind of very cosmopolitan, diverse mix, I think that's something we feel really proud of. And I think the traditions of the school, this is a school that goes back to 1699.
Yes.
And when we were established on where we are now, in fact in this very room, in 1808, it was the first school to educate boys and girls together in England.
Really?
So there's a little bit of being progressive in education, being innovative in the way in which we educate. So I think those are some of the things that I feel most proud about in Sidcot, certainly from a head's point of view, but also from a parent's point of view. I think if you were to drill down on the things that make us different, those are probably some of them.
Yes, I think so. We have just actually met some Hong Kong students, and I personally think that they're very happy at the school. Yeah. I'm really happy to see their smile face because it's not always happening in the student environment because it is a closed environment and they have to experience many pressures. And what made you think that Sidcot can make that happy?
I think when we see our Hong Kong children are very hardworking and they're very strong role models for those that they join in their year group. And they bring that to the school. I think what they probably gain from the peers and the people in their year group is being comfortable in their own skin and being confident. And I think what we find with our Hong Kong children is they tend to come quite focused and quite almost a little bit kind of wound up about education. And part of our job is just to make them relax. And as soon as you get them to relax and kind of drop their shoulders and maybe get involved in things that they haven't had a chance to do so before, so it might be the creative arts, it might be sport, it might be horse riding, whatever it is, suddenly they realise that education is as much about the things that take place outside the classroom as the things that take place inside the classroom. Now, our Hong Kong children are very well taught. They've had a great opportunity to really embed their learning in Hong Kong. So what we're doing when they come to the UK is really all the other stuff as well. So we want to keep them focused in the classroom, but we also want them to be confident, to be inquiring, to ask questions, to develop their own view of the world. So that's kind of what Sidcot brings to our Hong Kong students, in addition to what they bring to us. And it is very much a partnership between the two. And that's why we benefit so much from having our Hong Kong children. And hopefully, as you've seen, they're happy and they're enjoying their time with us, which is great to hear.
Yeah, it is. Oh, I'm very happy to hear about the partnerships. mentalities about the relationship between the student, because many parents in Hong Kong may think that education is a very one-side thing. It is always the school to student, not the student to the school. But in here, we are actually in a collaborative relationship with the student, right?
Yeah.
So we have just saw the educational wheels that that is unique to Sidcot.
Yeah.
Can you explain more to us about that wheels?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So it's what we call the Sidcot Learning Wheel, and this was an approach to our teaching and learning that we established probably about 5 or 6 years ago now. So what it is, it combines the development of skills and the development of character traits alongside the acquisition of knowledge. So we're trying to keep two things in balance. We have the knowledge economy, so the things that you need to know from the academic curriculum, so whether in maths or history or French or whatever it may be, but also bringing out the skills that young people need. Now, the kind of skills that we're talking about will be resilience, collaboration, learning from failure, so not making failure is a bad thing, but something is a learning that you then grow from the next time, self-management, timekeeping, all those sorts of things. Now, the way that it works is that we run this all the way through our junior school right up to sixth form. And when we are working with our younger children, they are just embedding those skills, they're developing those skills. So for example, we might say, okay, today in maths, we're going to work together. Now that's about collaboration. By the time that goes to the senior school, in particular when it gets into the sixth form, those are employability skills. So we think those are absolutely key, that our young people have got these skills in place and they're confident using them alongside all the knowledge that they've acquired from the subjects they've been studying. So the idea behind the learning wheel is that when our young people leave, they go with those two things very much in balance. They've got a great knowledge economy and very good exam results that they've got from the teaching they've had here, but they've also got the skills that they need to become really effective students beyond school at the university, but also really effective members of the workforce when they go into the world of work.
I see. Well, that's very unique experience that we've heard from any school actually. So I don't want to hold you up for too long. So okay. The last question would be, because many parents in Hong Kong, they always struggle of how to find the right school for their children. Some parents, they will just go to look at the league table and pick the top ranking school, but we know that actually doesn't work that way, because the top ranking school is not always the best fit for your children. So maybe can you have some advice for the parents in Hong Kong? How can they pick the best school and best suit school for their kids?
Yeah, it's a really good one. I think the point you made, Dylan, about league tables is really important, because of course there haven't been league tables for the last 2 or 3 years, as there's been a cancellation of public exams as a result of the pandemic. So league tables, I think, have never been particularly reliable. I think they're even less so now. So I think I would say to any parent, don't go to the league tables, go to the agents. Go and work really with you guys, because you know schools. You've taken the time to visit schools, to speak to heads, to really see what the schools are about. And therefore you know what the culture of the school is like. And the culture is the most important thing, because for us, when we're offering a place to a student, there are really two things that we look for. We look for the fact that we can support a young person educationally when they come to Sidcot, but we also want them to be here. We want them to feel that this is their place, that they're going to feel recognised, valued, supported, all those kinds of things. And you can't really do that without having the knowledge of somebody who's been to the school, who knows what the school's about. So I would say the best advice is work closely with your agents and listen to their advice, because that really is very good first-hand experience of the sector. And you will know, because you've been around a range of schools, that all the schools have a very different feel to them, a very different atmosphere to them, and you don't always get that from looking at websites. You know, you've got to kind of take the time to try and find out. I think the other thing, and we're very, very fortunate here that we've got Joy Chun, who is a fantastic colleague. Not only is she a member of our academic staff, but she also works very closely with our Hong Kong parents. And I think speaking to people makes such a difference. You know, just asking those questions, taking part in webinars, feeling bold and brave enough to ask questions, and I know that Hong Kong parents don't always want to ask questions, they feel a little bit inhibited in doing so. I would say just, ask that question, find out for yourself, because it's only when a parent feels comfortable about the school that they feel that that's going to be the right place for their child. So again, it's the point you were making earlier, Dylan, about partnership. And I think the partnership with agents, with the school and with parents is a really important one. So it's kind of keeping those sort of 4 points of the triangle, working together and supporting the young person and their ambitions for coming to the UK to study.
Yeah, thank you so much. We're always trying to do our best to neutrally looking at different school options for the student. And what is our advantage is because we always, every year we send students to different schools in the UK, especially for Sidcot, and we always receive different experience and different feedback from the student themselves, so we can provide the most first-hand experience for the parents about the student experience. And
I think that first-hand experience, particularly from the young people themselves, is the most important thing. Because I always feel that they are the strongest ambassadors for what the school represents. And if you want to find out about the school, ask the young people that attend it, and they will give you a very honest appraisal of how it's worked for them and whether that's going to work for your child.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your sharing today. We appreciate about that. Hopefully we can send more good students to Sidcot in the future.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. As I say, we really value the partnership we have with Dadi. So to all of your Hong Kong parents, do please come and find out more about us, speak to you guys, get in touch with the school. We'd be delighted to tell you as much as you need to know to make that really important decision as to where you want to send your child.
And maybe if possible, come to visit.
And come to visit us. The UK is open for business, so do please, when things are appropriate to do so, do please come and see us. You'll get a very warm welcome here at Sidcot. In the beautiful southwest. Where it's raining today, but it doesn't always rain. Sometimes the sun does shine.
We all actually the most sunshine part of the UK. Actually. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Great. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
有海外升學問題，即刻 WhatsApp 大地啦！